Hey everyone, Adam Bjornson here. You know what? It is a beer kind of. Is it a Friday? No, it's a Saturday, and I've had a few beers. But it's good to be amongst the concourse here, amongst all the Blazers peeps. I will let you know. Make sure you are tuning into the podcast BlazerTag. All right, it is the best Blazer information that you are going to get. Blazers right now trying to take care of the Phoenix Suns. We'll talk about it a little bit more coming up on Monday.
This week on BlazerTag, I don't win anything. How are the Blazers ranked number one, and in what stat? And game previews.
Games. Radio voices.
It sounded like you're trying to take a dump.
Oh, we're here.
Here we
week
are.
6, episode 6, week 6. This is week 7, episode 6.
Yeah, we
of
had
BlazerTag.
Preseason week 1.
True fact.
We're dialing this stuff in.
We are full of clickbait this week. So much clickbait.
Guys, how many of you honestly thought we would be here for 6 episodes?
Well, I figured we'd be at least committed for an entire season.
No, of
We
course.
said that.
Yeah. But I mean, how many realistically thought that we would progress and actually like do this for like 6 consecutive weeks? I honestly, I had my doubts, but I feel like we're in a rhythm. And who's stopping us now?
Well, seeing
Wait,
as that...
is Christmas on a Monday?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we'll probably have to work around that. And let's not lie, the weekend before that. Maybe we'll do a Boxing Day special or something.
We'll be on scene. We'll be actually recording our own audio.
There we go. Anybody know if the Raptors are playing December 26th? We'll do a Canadian special. Do Boxing Day.
Oh, there we go. There we go. No, I'm amazed we're still here, seeing as that last night was my first quote-unquote stress night with this, seeing as that I did stick squat all week to prep for the show, and I'm like, I have nothing. And in less than 24 hours, I have to be in front of a camera and a microphone.
Well,
so,
I mean, let's be fair. Our prep is all week long watching the games and kind of gaining that insights and checking the power rankings and watching stuff.
And
we
theoretically throwing stuff into our show notes,
Yeah.
but, you know.
We
there's
theoretically
more than-
prep our notes the day of or the night before.
although I
But-
guess the one
things
saving grace,
change.
if I ever lose my place, all I have to do is just go back through the week and scroll through all of our texts, and I'm like, what were we pissed about? What were we happy about? There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, well, speaking of being pissed,
up.
so we have a witty loss to the beer bet.
I had a good thing going,
yeah,
and it
so-
ended
Two
horribly.
straight.
So it's still a little tender for him, but so our bet this last week was the Davis Cousins or Boogie in the Brow versus Lillard McCollum point total differential. So I had Davis Cousins plus 7 points.
Yep.
Green here had Davis Cousins plus 5 points. The winner exactly.
On the dime.
Literally seconds before that, I was claiming victory.
Yeah, you had an exact total, and you led for almost the entire game.
Me,
And,
not so much.
Yeah.
I'm voting. I went for the hometown
I mean, you
boys,
looked
and they
really
let me
good
down.
when Davis went out of the game right before Boogie lost his mind.
I was really happy. I'm like, Davis went down. I need 2 guys to outscore 1.
Yeah,
and
in the first quarter,
no.
too. Davis scored 2 points, and Lillard McCollum could not get Ryan's plus 12 points.
Yeah,
They actually
I
couldn't
thought
even
I
top
set.
him.
I thought I set the bar at a reasonable amount, especially when it's only 2 players, 1 guy.
Well, and
Not
all
to
it
get
really
confused.
would have taken for you to win was just for those guys to win, period.
Yes.
I mean, all it would have taken, I mean, we probably would have given you the tie.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But
I think based on the rules,
looks pretty good.
I just needed him by 1 point and automatic.
Automatic.
And even following the Price is Right rules,
yeah.
wouldn't have gone over. But anyways, sir, your winnings.
Oh, yes. The IPAs. And following the tradition, I share my spoils, my picks. It's almost
I've
like a
wizened
New Witch
up this
IPA.
tradition because now I don't bring a beer into the show. I just enjoy the beer at the show.
No, I
'Cause
bring
I'm-
all the beer in at
I'm
all times.
actively trying to like work out and get more healthy, so my beer consumption went from
Give me
5
your
an
bottle.
episode to 1 an episode.
Give me your bottle. I
gotta
already know
admit,
where this is going.
You know, the amount we would drink on Mondays. I mean, well, first of all, that's probably bad for all of our waistlines. But second of all, I mean, it just sets the week off at a tone where the only thing you think is, man, well, I already drank a bunch last night. Might as well keep a good thing going.
Yep, got to keep it rolling.
Exactly. I mean, like beer guts do not maintain themselves without drinking. I mean, you got to drink the beer and commit to it.
And especially coming into winter, I'm not a big heavy winter coat guy. You know, a nice comfortable hoodie, but you know, the beer it warms the blood. It just works.
It's a nice little bit.
Beer
of
is my winter coat. Is basically what I'm saying.
Beer makes me happy. You know what else makes me happy though? Notable news section. And actually, I'm going to kick this one off here. I like news. And the news today, it's Monday, is that Blazers break the top 10 in the power rankings. And honestly, the Blazers have impressed me. Like, I know that, Vegas said 41.5 wins this season. I still feel confident with 51 wins. And we've managed to climb the rankings 3 weeks in a row. So now we're sitting up top 10.
We probably could have been a little better,
We
but there
can
was a heartbreaker
probably
in there.
still
But
climb.
Yeah.
going 2-1 is not a bad week.
We've been
2 weeks in a row.
This is good. So that's me kicking off the notable news, guys.
Also, home opener win streak still alive, 17, league best.
And we're also kicking Golden State's ass at this point, which makes everyone happy.
Oh man,
Golden State, Cleveland, the Thunder.
The stories of is Cleveland falling apart are everywhere right now. I'm kind of surprised no one is jumping to that conclusion with Golden State. They're not going to immediately because they've kind of been the darling of the NBA for a few years. But they're due.
It took me off last week when I was reading the power rankings, and it was Golden, and literally ESPN was coming out and saying, Golden State could start off 0-9, and they'd probably still be ranked number 1. I'm like, if any other team in the league not named Golden State goes 0-9, you're immediately dropping them to like 30th.
Well, the thing is, like, Golden State lost at home
Benefit of the doubt
to Detroit, and they ranked up higher. They were 4th ranked last week, and they're 2nd ranked this week. That's, to me, complete nonsense. And what's up with here having the Magic at 15? They're leading the East.
The Magic.
They're leading East, and they power rank 15. Does that make any sense?
It's still early in the season.
Week
Most
3
teams
power
are
rankings,
yeah,
though.
but we're 6 games in on average.
But you're ranking everybody based on 6 games.
Yeah, but I think
the off season and the preseason.
Yeah, 6 games
Well,
in, only one.
Then why is Brooklyn Nets at 21st since they led the East in the off season, and they're sitting here 3-4? So I mean, they're not really far behind the Cavs.
I have
And they
one
had a better
complaint right
offseason.
now. There's only room on this show for one stat guy, and that's me. You.
Make sure your stats don't go into the game because we're.
I'm down.
We're recording this game while the Blazers are playing the Raptors. So noting today is a Raptors game. After recording, we're going to be watching it from the beginning, and Lord willing, none of us actually see scores.
This is the ultimate hashtag respect the DVR.
Oh man, my biggest fear is that when I go to open it in my app and start,
if anybody's phone goes off,
there's going to be a score
spill
on
a
there
beer
somehow.
over your head.
If it does, then we're just gonna just play it from the start of the.
Oh, I'll still play it from the start, and I'll just pretend like I didn't see it. If worst comes to worst, but
oh, that happened. Oh no. Yeah.
Anyhow,
but yeah, no. So Blazer bench. Anybody impressed with what those guys are doing? Don't you touch it.
You mean Pat Connaughton?
I'm talking everybody.
Connaughton.
Not to be confused with my wife, who on Saturday when we were at the game saw him come in and said, "Oh, is that Pat Connaughton?" To which I said, "No, it's pronounced Connaughton. You don't listen to Whitledge." And she responds, "But wait, does that mean I've been learning things wrong from your podcast?"
No.
I've been referring to him as Patty Fast Fingers. So Patty Fast fastball.
No, that was great. The looks. So we were all at the Suns game on Saturday, and that was great because me and him kept saying "Yay, Patty Fast Fingers" every time he did good things, and the disapproving looks we got from the fans around us was fantastic. Especially like the little backhand I got into the back of the head from the wife. She's like, "Stop saying that. We're in public." I know, it's fantastic.
It's an honest mistake. Wink.
Yeah. But no, I mean, right now, the Blazer bench has always been their biggest bugaboo. It's always been a giant drop-off from the starters to the bench players. And so as of this early in the season, them having one of the top offensively ranked benches in the league, it's kind of one of those stats that blows my mind because those aren't a string of words I've seen put together in a while.
Some of the right guys for that, and some of it I think is that there's so little drop off in some of the positions. I mean, we've got Connaughton, who is a big drop off from Dame and CJ, but we also have ET coming off the bench, and
he's been playing lights out.
ET and Pat, great scores, but then Ed Davis. I mean, you compare him to Chief, and Chief's been amazing. Like he is overwhelmingly probably the most improved guy not named Pat Connaughton so far this season.
Yeah, he's easily our three at this point.
I do think, yes, he is slowly working his way into being the third best player on the roster, which
It's
I don't
nice for
think
me.
any of us could have
It's
called.
refreshing, and
Well,
also
well, I had him ranked pretty high in my rankings, and I kind of feel like he's proving me right, which is good because I apparently really missed it in Connaughton. I really didn't think anything was going to happen.
yeah,
good with
I
that
had him
guy.
at 12 for myself. Yeah,
Yeah, we were back there.
I had him ranked, I think, just a smidge ahead of you guys, or me and you had him about the same.
I think
but
we're both 12. Yeah.
I think that was all a giant swing and a miss on our part. So Pat, we're
Whoopsie.
sorry. I
has
still
proved us
maintain
wrong.
don't improve yourself good enough to go to the Spurs.
Oh, the Spurs.
But actually, carrying on. I was gonna make a Myers-Leonard comment, but we'll save that. Go on.
Too soon.
I was gonna say, yeah, that man wears an adorable suit, and he will be
Adorable.
for the next.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think it's now
2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 to 6.
I heard
Is it up to 4 to
he's
6
available
now?
for our show for the next 4 to 6 weeks. So,
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, he makes free appearances. If you ask for Blaze, he even comes in the suit.
Oh. Myers, I'm sorry, man.
He's never
These
coming
guys,
on our show.
These guys, they say things. Myers, I believe in you. Someday, you will prove all of us wrong when you go
And
to
play
some
with Luke
other
Babbitt.
team and just, fix the world, or join the Spurs. Probably.
Myers is fully allowed
was
to go
my
and
air
join
piano.
the Spurs.
Myers is the guy who goes to the Spurs. And we just shrug and go, well, what are we going to do?
So no,
Enjoy that 10 million.
I mean, one of the benefits right now of having the Blazers bench be ranked so highly is seeing is that at least on as far as Dame and CJ are concerned, CJ, I mean, for the last 5 games since his suspension, he's put up at least 20 points a game. But I do not see either of their shots being there. Like, if you go back and look at their shooting numbers, they're getting a lot of 25 points on 22 shots. It's just, and especially at the Suns game when we were there and watching it, seeing it in person, you could just see it. They're flat. They're flat-footed.
Lillard woke up in the fourth for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, this has not been a Dame Nurk season so far.
No.
And I honestly, our bench has really saved us. And I really can't.
Still
I
a
don't-
sentence
I don't-
that shocks me.
I don't know what
Yeah.
this team will be like when Dame and Nurk are locked in. When they're dialed in, this team's going to be nuts. I mean, because if Dame's putting up his 25 plus points and Nurk's sitting there hitting his double doubles, getting 10, 15 rebounds and I don't know, 10, 15 points a game. I mean, or more than that, right? 15, 20 points. That'd be nice.
Between the post-game quotes of both Dame and CJ, which, I mean, you always look to your team leaders to come out and speak to it. I mean, they both kind of owned up to it without actually saying, hey, it's all my fault. Dame came out and said, we're just not playing well offensively. The ball's moving. We're getting good looks. When those good looks don't fall, we just try to make things happen. That's when we have the turnovers and the low percentage shots. McCollum, hey, it's kind of hard to score when everybody's missing layups.
Yeah.
Which is true. The Blazers right now, I think, are actually ranked the worst in the league for shots within 5 feet of the basket.
Ew.
You know what they say.
Which is not something you expect to see with ball handlers like Dame and CJ, who in years prior have prospered at finishing at the
there's been
rim.
a lot of bad tip-in attempts. I feel like that's been a bigger trend. A lot of missed up close should just plop in that have not been fallen. And yeah, a lot of drive and
the drives.
blindly hope.
Yeah.
Those two things have combined to make the
And I
inside
said it
ugly.
last week. I maintain it. Don't play for the foul. Go for the immediate 2 points. Go up for the dunk. Don't pull your body away
and that's
from...
what cost us in that Clipper game, really.
yeah.
Well, and actually even more in the Buck game, but it cost us in both, trying to get in and get fouled and get the guaranteed 2 and a foul on top. And if you don't make the shot and you fall to the ground, you just gave the advantage to the other team. So.
Exactly. The only other thing that I'm thinking about that could be impacting them is, seeing is that we've actually seen wholesale improvement with everybody up and down the roster, minus Myers-Leonard, on the defensive end. Is, the Blazers used to be pretty decent in the league in fast break points, and we're not seeing that right now.
Not
so
a lot
when
of
you
running.
so your offense is obviously going to sputter when you're taking away a lot of your easy run out baskets. And so what would you guys rather have? Would you rather have the improved defense that we have this year?
Yes.
Yep.
or the offense that we've had the last couple of years.
The defense.
Hanging your hat on the
100%.
I would rather be better on defense, and realistically,
going with the old cliche of defense wins championships.
yes, but then also
Things dads say.
Now that we're all dads in the room, we can say it.
We can. Defense is just what we needed. I've been banging my head against the wall watching people score at will against us. This year, I mean, they're still doing some of that, but it's not nearly as painful as it has been. Really, I mean, the more painful thing has been watching some of the forced late game attempts where maybe they just
where it kind of breaks down to a one-on-one possession.
Or a one-on-3, I'm going to drive and work around 3 guys and hope for a lay-in that's highly contested.
Yeah, I'm happy for the defense because obviously from over the past couple of years with the core of this unit, we know the offense is there and we know it's possible. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to win games, even if they are closer than they need to be, by being a better defensive team, because I have faith that offense is going to come back. Dame and CJ are not going to shoot flat shots the entirety of the season. No.
Well, think of it like this, too. I mean, if defense and our marginal offense gets us 4-2 and we're currently ranked 4th in the West, bring it. Like, if we improve our offense and we keep it up with our defense, we're going to crush it.
66% is not an awful win percentage.
No way.
Nope.
Especially with the road games we played. I mean, we won, what? Didn't we win all 3 of those road games? No. We won
2 out of 3.
Yeah. So we're currently winning 2 games and 1. So we're losing a game a week. I'll take that any day. I mean, any day. So if I can
we are not in the panic time.
And to give the slight kudos back to the bench. I mean, even as we're sitting here talking about the Blazers' offensive struggles, their offensive rating in the entirety of the NBA is currently 3rd. They are behind only Golden State in number 1 and that says Orlando Magic, right?
Yeah, that'll change.
Just wanted to make sure I was seeing that correctly.
We did just rag on the Warriors a little.
Yeah,
but mostly not even the Warriors, just the people who are ranking them as still the best team ever. I mean, there's the proven on offense. Clearly not on defense if they've lost more than they've won.
I'd love to have a 4-3 record and be powering at 2nd.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
That would be fantastic. But anyways,
and if I was Orlando and I was ranked 15th and I had the best record in the East and I'm powering to 15th, then yeah, I'm probably pretty happy, right? As a fan,
you know. It's just Rodney Dangerfield. The Magic right now, us, no respect.
No respect. It's no respect.
So as we're talking about the records, let's work into how the Blazers have ended up with their 4-2 record at the moment.
Ooh.
So this last week, we had the Blazers versus the Pelicans, Blazers versus the Clippers, and Blazers versus the Suns. All home games.
Yep.
Moda Center was 66.6% pleased.
We were actually...
Actually, they were 100% pleased both games, except for the Clippers game. When they were almost pleased.
Yeah.
Hey, if I want to work it out minutes wise, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it comes down to a good solid 0.5% of the minutes they were.
No, they were 100% pleased there and 100% pleased there, and then they were 0% pleased there. I'm saying, during the games that we won, they were 100% pleased.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know the Clippers game was a pretty damn good game.
Oh my gosh!
Up until the last 5 or 6 seconds.
You know what? We're gonna slowly work our way there.
Didn't we all agree that in the last 13 seconds of that game that we experienced probably the widest range of emotions that a human could experience?
Definitely, at least the strongest so far this season.
So anger, grief, remorse, joy, excitement.
I have no clue how she does it, but my wife is able to find the world's best Snapchat filters. So she Snapchats too. We're also in a Snapchat group because we just can't stop talking to each other constantly.
It happens.
It's not just for teens anymore.
She starts sending Snapchats of me sitting on my couch watching the game, making hand gestures, and somehow finds this little popcorn man that's just sitting on the floor. And about about the time that I get angry, little popcorn man starts going, looking all around, shock, surprise, like a kicked puppy or something. But
it is popcorn. You know, popcorn has feelings too.
But
popcorn
anyway,
lives.
so before we work into the minutia of that
let's start
game,
with the Pelicans game. We actually all watched that together.
Yeah.
We celebrated mightily, though we struggled most of the game because I don't know. How did you guys feel throughout that game? It seemed like we
Very
all came
thankful
in
that
way
Davis
more
was
competent.
injured early on.
Yes.
If that Davis injury wasn't there,
in the beginning
I
of that
kind of
game,
disagree because the Davis Cousins anti-chemistry might have actually helped us a little bit.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
it'd be hard for him not to capture 10 points.
in the beginning
Davis
of that,
having a night where he scores 12 points.
Well, yes, but
but then this Boogie got
they're running fewer plays for Boogie. Boogie's not as hot.
yeah, in the
That's the
beginning of
hope.
that
I mean, it's
game,
chicken and egg,
it
but-
it was looking like, okay, this is going to be one of those grind out slugfest close games.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, even though every team kind of sort of wants a blowout win, at the same point in time, you don't want a blowout win because it becomes boring. You don't always want to see the third stringers in after halftime. Not everybody wants a game one of the season against the Phoenix Suns.
Very few people want to see Jake Layman that often.
Exactly. I mean, I like his hair.
coming
I'd love
off
to
the
stare
bench
at him.
in his
but-
suit. Myers Leonard, he just stands there in the court.
Yeah, but no, I was kind of intrigued by Stotts's defensive assignments right away. I thought for certain that he would put a more mobile person on Davis and keep Nurk to Cousins, because Cousins, I think, is a lot better known for bodying on the inside. No, flip that. He had Nurk on chasing Davis around and Harkless on Cousins, which apparently that worked because somebody broke Davis. So,
Or Davis broke Davis trying to work around somebody.
Davis is already broke.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Not monetarily. wise.
Technically, it all ended up being for not, seeing as that, within, I think, the first 6 minutes, Nurk picked up 3 fouls like that because he's devolved back to his old team tendencies of being foul prone.
That was kind of unfortunate. There was a lot of
Yeah, that's been
there's a lot of grind. Yeah, unfortunately, he is leading the team in fouls. In fact, that was one of the things we were talking about. Is maybe we bet on when we get to this week's beer bet. Maybe we do.
Who bets first?
Most fouls, and then that's kind of that. It was like there was a given
we all
most
said
likely
Nurk.
winner. Mind you, I mean he's only a half a foul ahead of everyone else, but that's a whole half a foul. He's averaging 3.8 a game. Next closest is 3.2, which is Ed Davis and
And
ET.
Ed Davis is a lot more, I would say, physical of a player down, chasing rebounds and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
So Ed Davis's fouls are a lot more earned than Nurk's
and
are.
Ed Davis is having a renaissance right now. He's coming back. He's proven that 2 years ago wasn't a fluke, and last year was. He's coming out and he's given all the effort all the time.
And Stotts rewarded him. As soon as Nurk picked up those 3 fouls, Davis came right in to spell him. And dear Lord, that was the first game where I'm like, this man is a freaking beast on the boards. I forgot how much of a rebound eating machine he is. I'm pretty sure without Davis on the team, we would not be ranked the best rebounding team in the league.
oh yeah,
Yeah, well, if we had last season Nurk, I mean, yeah, we would. But we're not seeing those same stats. I mean, again, Nurk came in and made 12 double doubles, out of the gate, boom, revived our season.
Yeah.
And this year, it's I feel like he's warming up to it, or maybe we can call it the ball of Lakers. Yeah, just trust the process. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get there. Just
team
bear with me.
franchise analogies are you going to throw?
Yeah,
into
no,
this?
right.
that's that.
Put out a tweet basically asking his fans to just kind of be patient with the process, kind of like the 76ers for the past
This is
10
true.
years.
Next 5-2.
But no, and once again, we were all happy to see the bench come out and do well because, CJ, I think he ended up being a high points man that game. I mean, Dame only put in 13 on 16 shots, but CJ going off in the fourth quarter for 16 points.
Yes, saving our bacon, really.
Also, we'd be remiss if we did not mention, it's nice to see that in an off season, the Myers-Leonard Boogie thing has not gone away.
I was actually really disappointed we didn't see more of him later in the game.
If I was Stotts, I would have just ran that man out. You shadow that boy. He's a freaking elephant. You're the mouse that scares the ever living
pull
crap
Green
out of
and
him.
Beal and just go tear his jersey.
Oh man.
Just stand behind him. Let him get the rebound, but just go, hello.
Oh, hello there.
Be as Pennywise. Just appear from the storm drain.
So to close out this game, guys, Blazers readily won, or easily, can't say easily, I guess, at the end, won 103-93. Good. Lillard had a crappy game, 13 points in 35 minutes. Wasn't really feeling that. But again, we still won, and a win's a win.
So moving on, I suppose, to the next game, the Clipper game.
Yeah, Oilers redemption night.
That is the. Sorry, what was that?
Go ahead.
That was the one. We watched the Pelicans game together. We were all in the arena for the Suns, though I was in a different part than you two.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. We'll get to that. But the Clippers game, we were all watching individually and texting throughout the game, and
just nonstop stream of texting.
I've never felt so alone.
I've also never been happier that I finally got Mighty Text back on my computer so that I can actually just watch the game and I don't have to like do the thumb because I type a heck of a lot faster than I text. So I got that streaming thing and it works great.
He's an
Mighty
Android
Text,
user.
fantastic.
Yeah,
please sponsor.
All of us with Apple devices have.
We call that iMessage, and we've had that for years.
Yeah, it all syncs everything together. Just
F you all. Continue on.
Welcome to the
with the game
future.
enjoy your Asus.
Asus.
Without your down key, I'm surprised.
You know what? I was eating Oreos one day while watching new episodes of Dragon Ball Super,
And
I
ate the down key?
No, I accidentally spilt the milk on the keyboard, and it pretty much only it kind of just all ran to the down key. So I took the down key off, and I'm like, you know what? Dab it up, let it dry, whatever. Put a little pile of rice on it. Set the down key off on my nightstand. The wife got a wild hair up her butt and decided to clean the bedroom and dust and. Oh, what's this down key? I'm just going to throw it away.
The wife decided to clean the house for us.
I know. Damn it, honey. I told you, don't do this.
These keys worn down. Yeah.
What, the P, O, R, and N? Don't ask questions.
I was going to say the N-O-R-P, Norp.
The real question is, how does Blake Griffin shoot a fucking 3? The hell is that?
Apparently, it was one of those things. It's kind of like the Nurk thing where you heard in the offseason that he was trying to extend his game out and find his range.
Well,
and he
that has been a thing for
years.
years.
And he kind of dabbled with it over the last 2 years. But
he was bricking a lot
it
of
was
nasty
never.
twos
It was
and-
never pretty.
He was bricking free throws. I mean, how does a guy take the last shot at the buzzer for a 3? I mean, granted, he hesitated. He took a moment. He was trying to pass the ball, but realized, oh, fuck it. And steps back.
He went
throws
up with
it
a pump fake.
And it doesn't even hit a rim. It freaking swishes.
At the same point in time.
Shot of his life.
So who else on the Clippers team, if you were
Anybody.
Doc, who would you have given that to?
Anybody else.
Really, you're going to give it to DeAndre Jordan on an elbow or
No, I'm
Patrick
saying they're
Beverly
like-
cutting to the rim?
Any guard, obviously. But I mean, I think he was trying to get rid of it. I don't think Griffin wanted to shoot that shot.
He didn't think he had the shot. He came out afterwards and he's like, I ran to it. I pump fake because I thought I might catch a guy and get a foul. And I realized, oh, heck, they all hesitated. So I just, all right, there you go.
Whoops. So that was a loss, 103 to 104 at the buzzer.
Yeah,
So
and I literally
very
only have
disappointing game.
one line for game notes, and that is, gotta make your free throws.
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Shans. Bill Shanley says.
Yeah.
You gotta make your 3. Okay,
And that's one of the other things that I've
you like
Yeah.
that? Does that work?
That was definitely. I mean,
You were
the
channeling.
difference really between that game and the next game, the Suns game. Late game, we made those free throws, and we were able to lock in and seal out a victory in what was otherwise a pretty close game.
Yeah, I'm over the Clippers game. Let's move on from that. For the Suns, whole different team. So
It's amazing what a new coach and a suspended star does to your team.
and they improve as a team. It's like
Yeah, well, Alex Len went from being a complete negative factor to playing one of the best off the bench games I've seen him play.
And Len was out on opening night. He did not play the game one.
Well,
So-
there you go.
X factor. See, it doesn't really make Bledsoe's trade stock go up any higher, especially when now you look like cancer.
Has he had any high trade stock the last couple of years? Because I feel as though Bledsoe's
Last
one of those.
season, he averaged 21 points.
Yes,
and the
his
stats give him the trade stock.
And last year, the Suns were shopping him before the trade deadline, and nobody wanted to touch him. He's one of those players that apparently comes off as a locker room cancer. I don't know if that's true. I don't follow the Suns enough to know, but it's kind of one of those things where there's smoke, there's fire. And, maybe we've now seen the tiny match lit in the background as far as Bledsoe goes with the Suns.
Any speculation on where he goes?
Probably
Who picks him up?
Probably Cleveland.
I think the Knicks take him.
Actually, yeah, he's actually a pretty perfect pick for how the Knicks really do everything. The Lakers might.
I wanted to say the Knicks, but I had a feeling both of you would. And Cleveland likes to take any high name player that enters the market. So
Well, especially now.
The Celtics love making weird trades with the Suns.
Well, the Celtics
And with-
also have some cash back now, or they can play. They have
and
like
like the next
8.4 million.
17 first round picks from all their trades.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
but like the commission gave them like $8.4 million, to go toward another player at this point. So
off the cap.
off
yeah.
the cap. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
the
And they
injury
still have
on
to
that
pay the
balance.
man, but
Yeah. But now they can kind of improve their roster, but they don't need to. They just won their game today, so now they're leading in the East. So way to come back. I applaud the Celtics.
So I do have a question while we're talking about the Suns. Seeing as that was our first real regular season game, all being in the arena. I know it's the Suns, but I looked around probably sometime in that first quarter, even within the first 3 minutes, and I'm like, I think this is the quietest I have ever heard. And I know that the Suns got off to a little bit of a hot start. Blazers struggled early, but even so, I'm always used to the Rose Garden, maintaining it, being loud right off the bat. Don't you say it. But being loud right off the bat. If the Blazers come out and struggle and they find themselves in even like a 10-2 hole, that defense chant is starting right then and there.
It
Not
felt
happening
weak.
this time.
Yeah, no, it definitely felt lesser than I'm used to. Also, after my immediate start in the in a actually surprisingly lovely little spot in the 300 level
You just
with
liked
a
your
footrest. That's where the little handrail happened to stop in front of me, so I didn't have people. I had just the guardrail to rest my feet on. It was nice, but then I got a text that someone offered Mr. Whitty some very, very close tickets, and not wanting to leave his friends who he was sitting next to, knowing someone else was somewhere else in the arena. I moved to a very lovely, about 9-10 rows off the court spot.
Yeah,
And
about
it was weirdly
free throw line,
Yeah.
9 rows up.
Yeah, it's-
while
it's-
I stayed up in the 200 levels with all my friends.
To Woody's defense, I mean, like 3 couples all bought tickets in the same row. Green opted out because of a sitter issue, and then
Then I wound up getting tickets.
And then he got
just
free
figured
tickets
it
Yeah,
out
if we
anyway.
want to work our way back on this.
And they got a free upgrade.
So Green didn't buy tickets, got free tickets to get into the game, and then got free better tickets to sit 9 rows off the court.
Well, I mean, technically, I did buy you a beer and thanks. So, I
Well,
mean, it did cost me $11.
Which the wife was throwing a fit. You can't ask him for a beer. I'm like, damn freaking straight I can.
so here's
I was
here's
going
the
to
thing,
buy
though,
you a
is
beer
that
either way. That's just common courtesy.
I have to clear this beef up though. So I read your text to Whitty, and you said this was the closest game I've ever sat. I'm pretty sure I was in row A.
Actually, I think I said my wife has ever sat.
Oh, okay.
It was the
and-
closest she has ever been.
Yes.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I had the row A
Though
seats.
it's kind
the
of it's
follow-up-
hard to debate that though
The
because
follow-up text that I got from Christine said that is the closest she had ever sat when she was sending her thank you text.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
because technically when we used to go to a lot of your games in your old spot, we were technically closer to the court, but we were up in the corner a little bit further, so the view's still a little bit nicer. Where
However,
That
the
and
reason-
you
it's a
couldn't
vantage
use
point.
the footrest up there because the little lady would yell at you every time you put
No,
your feet up on the
always-
rail.
I always put my feet up there.
Anytime me and him ever sat in your spot, because for some reason you never took me to a damn game. Anyways, bitter about that. We'll talk about that later. But no, anytime me and him ever sat down in that spot and I'd
That's the
kick
two
my
of
foot
us.
up on the rail. Sir, you cannot have your feet up there. You need to leave the passage open.
Which
Because
is
they know-
weird
it's
because
because
the gal
they knew me as a season ticket holder.
Oh yeah. Well, and the the gal also for some reason really had a problem with him doing that, but not with him hitting on and or flirting with the Blazer dancers standing directly in front of us, which was maybe the highlight of your seat.
Yeah,
Arguably.
my seats were right behind the Blazer dancers, and I as far as the vantage point goes, I'm
Wives,
sitting in
turn
the
it off now.
I'm in the corner. I'm sitting like this, and if you can see me on YouTube, my head only had to do this, and
That's
I'm
a good
turning
2-inch turn.
I'm
radius
turning very fractionally. I'm not having to I'm not mid court doing this number, like looking far.
No,
to my
I
right,
judge
far
seats.
to my left.
I judge seats by how far I have to
Well,
turn my head.
you
The
get
farther I
whiplash.
Well,
shift,
I
the
know if
better
you're
it
up in
is.
the 300 level, you don't even need to move your head.
You watch the screen.
That too.
No,
that's why they sell
I
tickets
re-
for $9.
That was actually the worst.
I refuse to do that. I refuse. Even if I can't see what the heck is going on down on the court, which luckily the Rose Garden is a good enough building to where there's not a bad view in there. But I refuse to ever stare at the screen because I'm like, I could see this on my TV at home. I did not pay this money and all that beer money.
I didn't pay
Not even
$9 to be here and watch a screen.
And $44 in beer to stare at
You
a
go
bigger
for the
screen.
camaraderie up there. You don't go like that's
yeah.
where the fan sits, right? That's the fan. They're hitting their little spirit sticks.
If I can have a not even first world problem, like top 1%er problem complaint about the great seats that I was in, was really annoying is sitting there watching the game, watching it for several minutes and saying, I've forgotten what the score is. I think we scored like twice and they scored once, and having to actually look up really intentionally to see the scoreboard.
What is...
Is it all the way up there?
Oh, I need glasses.
Oh,
to
man.
see.
Man. So there you go.
But you did get that massage the
weak
next
sauce
morning to
stripes.
work that kink out of the neck, right?
Well, you know, you had to.
Private
Go
massage.
see
came
the
to house.
chiropractor.
Yeah, woe is me. And then you hear the players cursing. You can hear the squeak on the floor. And
You can see Neil O'Shea flipping people off.
the friend off.
Yes, but anyways,
So I will say though, like I said in closing with that, speaking of of first world problems, our first world problem this week was the loss of the Clippers, which we are going to tie in to our shot of the week. Now,
much to the disagreement of this man in the center.
so there was much debate with this, obviously.
Oh, it was.
And all of us were depressed for our own reasons. I know that I went to bed really, really upset. My wife was like, "Did we win?" I go, "No." I mean, I didn't drink that night. So I have
Both of you remained sober that game, if I remember correctly.
I think we all have unresolved
Yeah,
stress and pain from this game. And so our shot of the week is obviously to pay respect to a shot that absolutely should not have made it in.
And
but
define the week, unfortunately.
My wife actually told me after the game when I got upset, she's like, "Okay, they lost. Ooh, on a Griffin last second 3-pointer.
Let's turn it in.
Just stay outside or stay out here and cool down before you come to bed."
Let's go ahead and turn it in so we can kind of.
Oh, man.
I'm getting there.
There's the
there it is.
pancake. There's the shot.
You gotta
and
redo the shot.
There it was.
You know what?
Because we gotta kind of break this down in the emotion. The emotion.
You want our souls to be crushed again?
Well, you know what? That's why we're drinking. So
Yeah,
All right.
unfortunately.
let's go ahead and turn it in here.
All
Bring it
right,
in.
all
Bring Noah's Ark of your laptop.
I love it. I have big hands. I need a big keyboard. I can't operate on that tiny crap, and I
Well,
want
that's
my
the-
10 key.
I do miss having a 10 key for my work computer. I'm gonna have to get another
I'm the
one.
one working out here.
Oh,
just
look
having
at
a hard
those
time.
strong arms. He
Yes.
lift whole computer.
Oh, hey, look, it's Mo Harkless in a freeze
Yes.
frame.
Anyways, so
And there's
hold
the play
on. Adjust the
button
mic
not
so I
being
don't sound
pushed.
funny. Anyways,
right, so
here's the
There's
inbound.
Blake running.
6
And he
seconds
runs
left.
off. And so here's where that confusion was. Dame came out later on and was like, "Oh, well, I couldn't leave Beverly because he could run. He could make a run to the court." And I thought Chief for sure had him. Good job, Dame. He tried to throw Chief under the bus for a little bit. But anyways,
There's,
rubbed
there's
off.
a screen. He's pretty well open right
Yep.
here.
Harkless did drop the ball. I do think, even though Gallinari was having a decent game, I do think Harkless should have showed on top and given that extra bit of defensive presence to Griffin. But Griffin collects, he pump fakes, and goes up. I actually, at the time of that shot, I thought Chief got a finger on it until the minute that it went in, and I said, "Oh, son of a bitch." And then did an angry lap around my little Chase Ottoman thing.
I just was deflated.
And
I just
then
sat on my couch and slumped.
immediately, I think we all sent texts to each other that said, fuck, 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 fucky, fuck, fuck.
And now this is
mine
an
was
explicit
first.
episode for sure. But either way, guys, as depressing as that was, you know what? Thank God we can close the week out with booze.
Yeah.
So,
and-
guys, here's
And
the...
as much as we love the Blazers, we'll drink to the sad shots too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the most important one this week.
So, Blazers, learn your
that
lesson.
hurt us
Guys,
all.
this is for you.
Yep.
damn
that was
delicious.
That was delicious.
I drank the whole shot in one foul swoop.
Oh,
Ah!
man.
Hold on. That's a big accomplishment for this man.
He did pull it off. Look at
Are
the-
you? Hold on. The follow up is we got to give it a good 10 seconds to see if he's still holding it down.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna hold down.
Oh man. And I even made this. I made a pretty shot this week. It was a mini Manhattan.
He offered
It
us
was-
a cherry. I told him it was a
it
choking
was
hazard.
2/3 a shot of bourbon, a third a shot of vermouth, and a dash of little bitters in there. It's nice. It was very smooth.
The bitters
very
is
sweet
what
and
made it
tasty.
tolerable.
All right, so that was us. We drank away our sorrows from the Clippers game. We appreciate the 2-for-1, but
Indeed.
let's look at what's coming up.
I'm also going to go ahead and thank you right now, guys, for doing the shot of the week toward the end, so that the viewers can actually hear a coherent me.
We had to accommodate the Nancy.
Yes,
Don't worry.
I don't hold liquor well at this point because I'm eating healthy and I'm working out, so my body's like, this
mean-
isn't right.
You mean a day full of salads does not
Yeah.
does not mix with a night full of drinking?
What? Mind
Oh,
blown.
Shocked face. So yes,
much pain.
so we already made a mention of it at the top of the show. So the Blazers right now are playing the Raptors. We'll touch on just one or two things about them because obviously by the time you see this, that game will be over and we will either be really happy or
Yes.
really sad.
Yes,
And
and I'm going
couple
to
guys out to injury tonight.
Yeah, we're winning tonight. By the way, I'm proclaiming that. I'm
it feels
proclaiming.
I
it.
was about ready to backhand you if you would have given me a score.
No, I'm proclaiming it. I'm putting it out there.
He's naming it. He is claiming it.
Yes.
It is 1 hour into the game, and
You guys-
he believes the Blazers are currently winning.
That
and
is all
will
right.
win.
I
Did
do.
anybody ever
I
like
do
watch
figure they
The
will win.
Secret back in the days? Like, remember when The Secret was a thing?
I watched the first 10 minutes of the movie on Netflix.
I have no clue
6
what
months
either
ago,
of you are talking
and it was
about.
awful.
My-
So basically, it's this inspirational
The
video.
Secret Life of Pets.
No, it's just called The Secret, and there was a book, and the general thesis is anything can happen if you just believe it hard enough, and if you will it into existence, and you make vision boards and other things, and you just think about how to make the dream
That's
happen.
where my lottery dream has went wrong. I haven't made a vision board yet.
That's
So
the problem.
I will say, however, so my ex-wife was totally into it, and at the time bought the DVD, got mailed to our house. And I was like, "What is this? We've got to watch The Secret." So we sat down together and watched The Secret, and I'm just thinking, "The fuck is this? Like, will it into existence?
We're just giving
proclaim
into
it?"
this episode.
And I'm like,
It
yeah,
is.
this is gonna have an E next to it. There's no question about that. So.
I'm a guy who generally is open to a lot of bullshit self-help guru talk, like probably way more than I should.
What's the name of the really tall dude? I
Tony
like him.
Robbins.
I love Tony
I
Robbins.
would agree with you. I love Tony Robbins, and mind you, Tony Robbins. I
can
watch
just watch
him, and
Tony
I know
Robbins
he is
clips on YouTube,
90%.
and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I can do things in my day.
Yeah, I know he is 90% bullshit psychobabble hype, and yet I still kind of love watching him and feel better when I do. So
Well, it's like-
whatever.
It's that amazing smile the man has. It just
a
ropes you
hell
in.
of a
It
smile.
it makes you feel comfortable.
It's also like watching
And it's-
Gary Vaynerchuk in the morning. You know,
Oh,
like
Gary
you listen to
V.
Gary V in the morning before you go to work, and you're like, "All right, I'm gonna work 18 hours a day because I need to hustle like V." Is that just me?
That's not
yeah, but
me.
Gary V is. I don't know. I feel like he comes across as a douche when I listen to him. Maybe it's just me.
He's got the confidence, right? I
It's-
mean,
Anyways,
he does what
we've
he
gone
does.
we've gone off the rails. Let me roll this back
Welcome
in.
to
So-
the Blazers self-help review podcast.
Yes. Suicide Watch hotline will go down there. But no, so Blazers
Down
currently playing the
where?
Toronto Raptors, who at the time before this game they were 3-2. So it's a little weird right now when you want to like compare teams by like, okay, what's their rankings? Because I just realized that by the end of the week, the Mavericks will have played the most games out of any team, at least in the Western Conference. But I think out of the league, and they're still the worst team. But anyways, tonight
Hard start.
no Serge Ibaka, no Jonas Valanciunas. Hey, there we go. Pronunciation for the win.
He's our vernacular guy.
But
Also not
also
Connaughton.
Toronto came into this. They haven't played since Friday when they got their first road win of the season against the Lakers.
Whoa! Oh, mind blown.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So,
Very big
anyways,
feat there.
we hope that this is going well, and yay, they won. Boo, they lost. Just there you go. That's later editing. No.
So following that, we have a game against the Jazz. So first divisional matchup should be pretty exciting.
I was listening to another podcast, basketball one, done by gentlemen not too different from us. It was called Northwest Exposure, and one of the guys is a
Sounds inappropriate.
you would think one of the guys is a big Nuggets fan. One of the guys,
Also sounds inappropriate.
one of the guy is a big hairy Timberwolves fan.
I mean, that's fine.
And they're covering the whole division, and they predicted the Blazers to be last in the division, the only one that doesn't make the playoffs. So clearly, they know what they're talking about, and they were very big on the Jazz.
I'm sure Mark Cuban was their first subscriber.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to shoot him an email here after that game and just say, hey, so I noticed not only are we the highest ranked in the division, but also you guys suck. And a related note, there'll be guests on our podcast next week. Actually, they could be.
No, it's
I'm kidding.
Anytime I read the Jazz's starting lineup, it just sounds weird to me. They got Rubio, Hood, Ingles, Favors, Gobert. They sound.
Oh yeah.
They sound like they should be better than they are until you realize that Rubio has zero shot.
No, you realize that
Favors is pretty much an elbow shooter, and Gobert, I think he just got his handicap sticker yesterday.
Oh, that's
yeah.
painful.
So you think it should be better, but then you realize that they're the Jazz.
Well, no, the Jazz has been pretty consistently a middling team forever.
Who did they lose? Somebody very important recently?
The same people that Boston lost.
Oh, yeah. Hayward, what? Oh,
Yeah.
You know,
they're
you know
all-star?
what the Jazz is right now? The Jazz is, I know y'all grew up in the same time I did, roughly. You remember that
We're
old
all
early,
within a couple years of each other, yes.
that early computer game, The Incredible Machine?
Oh, I was thinking you were
Yes.
going to refer to the
I thought you were going NBA Jam.
No, they
Oregon Trail.
They are like five or six of the really cool pieces on Incredible Machine. And the problem is, like, they lack any of the other things to actually make them work together. Like, they do okay, and any one of the guys can do fine. And Rubio's actually probably one of the few linking parts in there.
And we're not referring to Marco Rubio, the Republican guy from Florida.
He can die, though,
Florida?
too.
Florida? Yeah, Florida. Rubio! Anyways.
They say that
He might play better.
I'm the lone Democrat of the room, so.
I'm not a...
You're not a Democrat.
I know, I'm
We're
actually...
all basically independents at this point.
Yep. Thank you, Trump.
I'm a registered libertarian.
You're a librarian?
Yeah. I like books.
I'm a registered
and
Klingon.
freedom.
Anyways, no, the starting lineup of the Jazz has a net rating of a minus 11.3. If that's what you're rolling out as your starting lineup, which if we're going to trust the coach, that's the best you got, you can only hope for so much. And the Jazz are one of those teams where I kind of put them on the same...
Oh, cut the scores, man.
Oh, dang it. Don't you look.
I didn't see it. I just
Stop. I'm not looking.
Get out of there. I got the power
pain.
rankings right here.
The DVR
Anyways,
pain.
no, I do you have all the information about
I do.
it? I'm going to say, so with the Jazz, at the beginning of the year...
So much focus
This
on
is
numbers.
serious business here.
You know what? Stop peeking at my porn. No.
That's not.
But
what's
no,
on
with
this
the Jazz,
computer right
the
now.
Jazz were
Don't
like the
believe him.
The Jazz were like the Timberwolves, in which everyone was high on them at the beginning of the year. They have great defensive potential. They're going to hold opponents down. And yet now here they are ranked 18 in week 3. They just dropped 7 spots from being number 11. I'm seeing the Jazz be the Jazz. They have not been good since they lost.
Jazz.
Not since Darren Williams left. Which
Well, we all know there's no actual Jazz in Utah, and
there's also no drinking in Utah, so I have no clue how those fans can
no,
survive.
there's drinking. It's just remarkably lower in ABV.
We like our gruel.
And it has to be behind a wall.
Yeah. And not on Saturdays. Wait, that's 7-Day Adventist. I don't know. Anyways, I've been drinking. So,
Hey.
honestly, so today with Toronto, Blazers are, negative 2.5. So, we're, looking good for those games. The Lakers, that should be a pretty solid win there, I feel
Hold on,
like.
I want to back this up a bit. Did anybody realize that Darren Williams is not on a current team? According to Google, he's still a free agent at the moment.
Wow.
So do you remember back in the old heyday of the Blazers during the Brandon Roy, LaMarcus Grego era, where we just need CP3 or Darren Williams and we will contend for a championship?
Bum, 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 bum.
And a
Time to hire a better agent.
Neither of them ever.
Darren
really
Williams
seriously
and
competed.
Chris Paul at the
Well, I
time had
remember-
the same agent.
Well, I remember Chris Paul too being the best statistical player, and people talking about how Darren Williams is the newer, better version of him and will have a longer, better, stronger career. And I remember every time people said that, I just kind of shrugged. I don't know, maybe I'm just averse to change, but I believe CP3 was better, and now I feel history has borne out my opinion. So history proves that I'm always right.
History is right.
I am right. So then we play the Lakers, and we have
Hello,
Ball Swanigan
Lonzo
3.
Ball.
Our first Lonzo debut.
That is supposing Swanigan, of course, gets any minutes. He posted, was it 2 DNPs last week? I know it's been 2 this season.
Stotts has been so inconsistent between him
I
and
don't-
Collins.
I don't really understand
I
that.
literally think that he's sitting back there like just going, and dice roll. That's what it was. It was a dice roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hand motion.
Yes, we'll call it a dice roll. For the ratings, that is.
So does
But Swanigan didn't play against the Suns. Like, what was the deal?
and he rolled out Collins, who had 3 fouls, no points, like a rebound and 0
not
assists.
Collins' best game.
No.
Um,
I really think
Yeah, no
and
defense
that
there.
And so we were actually talking about it in our text earlier of like, hey, so when we all said Nurk for the whole foul thing, you're like, oh, Collins had more. I was like, yeah, but you can't peg that Collins is going to play, same as you can't peg
No way.
Swanigan
True.
is going to play.
He'll play like 1.5 to 2 minutes average a game, probably, maybe.
I think Swanigan is definitely having the better rookie season. Stotts has given him, I think he has double the minutes of Collins.
Yeah, let's go ahead and give him a break then.
Yeah, but
He better play tonight. Just saying that.
yeah, here's hoping that. But my
But
one thing
let
is,
me-
so does all the drama around Lonzo Ball and LeVar Ball and everything, does that do anything for a renewed rivalry
No.
with the Lakers? I think as soon as
No.
Kobe retired, or as soon as Kobe actually was on his downfall swan song, and the Lakers started sucking, I think that Lakers rivalry disappeared.
pretty well. And mind you, if you were to ask the Lakers, everyone was their rival back then, and they didn't think we were their rival.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
unless
Like-
you were named the Celtics, you weren't a true rival of the Lakers.
I mean,
Our
we had
rival is obviously Houston Rockets.
yeah, the Rockets have been our rival the last several years. Up until they became huge, I would have put the Warriors in that same category because fistfights were breaking out. I think that happened twice in a season a couple years ago.
But that was back when fistfights were kind of okay.
No, it wasn't. Still not. No, it's been 10 years.
Based on this topic, I kind of want to. I want to let the listeners, viewers, random people,
Friends, Romans, countrymen.
wives,
People we beg to watch.
yeah, all those vagrants that we've given money to and bought phones for, but but no. So soon to be introduced on the podcast is a blog on the BlazerTag podcast.com website. We will be launching a blog sometime within the next 2 weeks,
Short for
depending upon
weblog.
how fast it takes me to write an article. And one of my first thoughts is that I want to investigate the anatomy of a rivalry. So what is a rival? If any of you viewers want to comment or email or anything, what is the best Blazer rivalry in your lifetime? In your fandom history, because we've gone through a lot of teams. We've gone through the Lakers. We had the old I-5 rivalry with the Sonics.
I miss the Sonics
Oklahoma
rivalry.
City, as soon as they, with the Greg Oden, Kevin Durant draft. Now it's all over the board on what is a true rivalry. So if you want to comment, email BlazerTagPodcast at gmail.com.
No.
Well, no.
It's actually
It's
podcast at blazertagpodcast.com.
There you go.
That's
Sorry.
the one.
Sorry, I
Let's go
forgot.
ahead and it's going to be down here below.
Sorry, I
As
forgot.
flip
For
mic.
the 8 of you listening on YouTube, for those of you on
And
on-
for the
on
1.5
podcast.
of you who've made it this far.
Yeah, sorry.
all
But
of us.
my personal email was the Gmail one. That forgot that. But anyways,
Yeah, ignore
comment, email, tweet us, Facebook message, whatever. You let me know what you think one of the Blazer rivalries is, and I'll address it in my article.
I like it. So last game this week, though, is Blazers versus OKC, which will be very interesting. I'm actually looking forward to this game the most.
Well, yeah, it's the highest profile
Big
one.
Three.
And not even that.
OK3.
Honestly, OK3.
I told you I am not
Ooh,
giving
I can't
that
stand
sentence any weight.
So
Yeah,
my,
you are.
My biggest problem, though, with OK3. Ugh.
Yeah, there it is.
OKC.
It
is,
just
is
feels
the fact,
so
like,
natural.
It needs to die a painful death.
This team, though,
Rental 3?
looks so good, right? Like on paper, it looks so good, but they don't play good. They're not playing together. They're not melding. They're not.
No. Hold on. You're telling me infamous ball hogs Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony are having a hard time playing as a team with
And
people.
shot leader
What?
on his previous team, Paul
Who
George.
takes the last shot? Who
Yeah,
takes
but
the
at
last
least-
shot?
Shot leader, yes, but at least he played the system.
Okay, fine. Here's my thing.
I mean, I guess
So
you could say Russell
he-
was
he
playing
was
the system, but he was the system.
Paul
Sorry,
George-
Russell, for not getting any triple doubles this season.
Here's my thing. So Paul George was the leading rebounder on his team, on his previous team. Russell Westbrook, with all the triple doubles and oh my gosh, he's the second coming in basketball last
Messiah.
season. And Carmelo, who I think we've all now seen the YouTube video of him cussing every time he gets a rebound that just made the rounds last week.
There's a meme of that.
Yet now Oklahoma City is the worst defensive rebounding team in the league.
Yeah.
Going against the Blazers at the tail end of this, who are the best overall defensive overall rebounding team in the league.
And aren't we number 3 on offensive? It was something like that. I was on Basketball Reference earlier.
Offensive rebound.
I think we're
rating.
within the top 5.
Regardless,
Things are. It's a good time to be a Blazer fan.
The Blazers are the best offensive rebounding team in the league and the 5th best defensive rebounding team.
There
in the
it
league.
is. So
Thank you, NBA.
So that
Tom.
said,
this week will be
it's
good.
going to be scoring is going to be the thing. Can our defense slow them down? Can we take advantage of what will most likely be a very good rebound advantage? And will Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum get hot?
So I do have a question. So out of OKC's big 3, because you're never going to hear your guys' words come out of my mouth.
Okay, 3?
No, never happening.
Oct 3?
I love how you have big 3 in here.
Who out of the it's in quotes. Who out of the starting lineup guards who? Who would you put? Do you put Dame on Westbrook?
Well,
Because-
yeah. I mean, at least they're gonna put Westbrook on Dame.
Might as
So
well.
Harkless and Aminu, where do you split those up?
Well, you got CJ. I would probably.
I think you got CJ on Melo, and I think you got Aminu on.
If
on
you put
George.
CJ on Melo's
Yeah.
gonna back him down in the
Yeah,
post
actually-
every single possession.
Well, then maybe
I would probably put
Aminu on.
Yeah, I
on-
would
on
do
Melo.
Mo and Aminu. That's Mo on
Mo on Aminu. Yeah.
Mo and
I
Aminu.
really hope Mo Harkless isn't guarding Aminu, otherwise this game is
Oh,
going
it'll be
sideways.
great. No, I said Mo and Aminu.
Okay, but who on who? Out of those two?
Out of those two, Mo probably hits. I mean, you got to go by size. So Mo to Melo and Aminu to George.
And leave it up to Dame to prove his new defensive chops by guarding Westbrook.
Well,
I
let's
thi-
not lie. I mean, maybe Westbrook gets hot, but that leaves a whole lot of people on both sides of the court that can do some things.
And it's also been the prevailing theory whenever Portland's played Oklahoma City of if you're going to have one person beat us, it's Russell Westbrook and everybody else, let's see what you can do.
Pretty much, and it's worked out for us surprisingly well.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's gonna be. I think OKC is gonna put Melo on CJ. I think.
Yeah.
That
see.
would make
We'll
sense.
see.
That is OKC's one benefit is that and
They got
it's
the height.
It's kind of weird that they are not a better defensive team because, dear Lord, is that team long?
But not as long as the Bucks. Yeah, that's what.
We
why you
want
gotta
all
do
6'9" players with 10-foot wingspans.
So here's the real question. How do we fare this week? 4 games. You think, I mean, I felt like every week it's sweepable. I'm pretty sure, I mean.
Sweeptable?
Sweepable? No, sweepable. So if there's 4 games, do we win all 4? That's 3 out of 4 feels pretty
Do we wanna
doable.
make
I'm
this
actually
a beer
gonna.
bet?
No. I'm gonna go ahead and say 75%. I honestly I can't decide if it's gonna be Toronto or OKC. I think we easily beat Jazz Lakers. But again, we're playing OKC. Are we playing them in OKC?
No, that's a home
Yeah.
game for us.
Okay.
Our only road game out of this is the first game of the back-to-back against the Jazz, and then we're back at home versus the Lakers, and then
Gotcha.
3 days later.
Okay,
OKC.
I think we actually win all 4 games.
I feel like worst case scenario we win 2, but I think 4 is very doable. I think 3 is a pretty
Not
safe
giving
bet.
them 4. I got one letdown game in this, and
Yeah,
that's
I
against
think-
the Jazz.
You know
No,
what?
you don't.
I
Yes.
actually I think
I think the Jazz are a letdown game. You
No,
can.
you know what?
You
I
can-
would go Lakers if I'm going the same logic. It would be we take a night off against somebody we
Big
shouldn't.
Baller brand is a brand that every player in the NBA wants to kill.
That'll be his triple.
Good point.
That'll be
Actually,
his
you know what?
triple-double
That'll be
night.
a great welcome to the NBA game for Dame to put on to ball.
Exactly.
No.
I-
We all
I-
know that'll be
I-
his triple double night.
I envision Dame going off for like 40 points if Ball is guarding him, just going straight at him. I would be more than happy if Ball fouled out.
The Patrick Beverly opening night game was so good.
Oh, it was fantastic. That is the one and only
Tripping
time
him
in
up.
my life that I have ever rooted for Patrick Beverly.
Oh, I hate that
And
guy.
any other time that they play the Lakers will be the following times that I've
It's
rooted
Patrick
for.
Beverly fits firmly into the ranks of, man, I hate that guy. But if we traded for him as a backup, or if things went really south and he wound up being somewhere on our roster, I'd be okay with that.
Anyways, guys, we got a game to watch. We got to wrap this up, which means we have to
beer
have
bet.
our new beer bet of the week.
So-
Beer bet.
What's going on this week?
All right, so this week
Break it down for us.
we've got some surprisingly tight and very flexible rankings. Right now, the Blazers are ranked number 4 in the West.
Yep.
And it's really, a single game can swing things from just about any spot all the way along the roster.
Unless you're the
We've got
Mavericks.
4. So that said, we got 4 games. There's a lot of other games happening. The question is, when we record next week, where do the Blazers rank? 1 to wherever in the West.
Go first, Whitledge. I go second. Green, you pick third.
I have last.
So I figured that the Blazers would go 3-1 this week, which gives them an overall record. Oh wait, math fail.
Oh, on the fly. I can't
Ooh,
do it.
man, now he's
Hold on.
got to make it up as he goes.
Oh no, never. Yeah, no, I'm still standing by my
Be
answer.
7-3.
So I'm
Dead air.
I'm giving the Blazers a 7-3 record, which will tie them with the Rockets for 4th in the West.
For 4th, you say? Oh, you
Yep.
think the Rockets are going to do a little dropping?
So
The Rockets are currently, I said tie them.
Okay.
we'll
So
have
the
fourth.
the Rockets are currently 3rd, but they're half a game ahead of the Blazers as it stands
Yeah.
right now. It's early in the season,
No,
and unless
after this though, we'll be tied. We're playing 4 games this week.
that's fine. But unless
So
we
who goes first? Who takes the 4 spot and the 3 spot? Do the Blazers advance to the 3 spot if we're tied for the
no,
record?
Blazers stay at 4, Rockets move up to 3.
Well,
That's
shit.
that's-
Okay, so you're
that-
going number 4.
I'm giving
4 is your number.
I'm giving the Blazers at 4.
Well,
Okay.
I had them at 4, and I can't pick that, so I'm going to go ahead and say 5, I guess, because I'm going to put Ryan in a tough spot.
That does put me in a tough
Because
spot.
I actually had the Blazers also winning 3 games this week, losing 1, and I look at the matchups, and honestly, I think the Rockets lose tonight. That's all speculation still.
You know what? So we've
So I
got
say
a
5.
4-5 and a 4 and 5. So I've got to go 6 or 3, really.
Yeah. If
I've
you
already-
pick 8, the week has gone south.
Oh yeah, if I picked 8, I would want to beat me up. Let's go 3. You know what? I'm doing it. I think. If the Blazers could win 3 out of 4, and if things don't go perfectly for the teams ahead of them, we can land there. If we luck out and hit 4 straight, really, actually, we just won last night.
So
Or
Whitledge
2 nights ago, so we get there.
And for the caveat of this is even though we record this on Mondays, this is games played through Saturday. Sunday's games do not count.
No, it counts.
That was not part of my research, and no.
It has to count.
yeah,
We
no,
record Monday.
when we record next week.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely counts.
fine.
It's 2 to 3, 2 to
Fine.
1. You're
Fine,
out on
I'll
that.
stand by my answer
You
on
even
that.
said they win 3 out of the 4 games. That's
right.
counting all the games.
Hold on.
All right, so now here's the question: tiebreaker, and that meaning if Ryan hits it square on the head, 4.
Oh, yeah, that is right.
There's
Nope, okay,
there's
fine,
a 3 and a
I stand
5. Do we? How do we break that tie, or do we just split it?
I think we just split it again.
Okay, that works as a split. I bought the last split, so
Yeah. How about we all just come with tall boys next week? If
And if the Blazers lose more than half, then yeah.
Or do you
then
want
I'll
to,
just come with a bottle of tequila.
Or do you want to say on the fly?
Do
Do you want to say total points scored all this whole week? If you add all
Isn't
the
this what
points
you
up-
tried to push.
Well, they can be a tiebreaker.
No, there's
the
no,
fly. On the fly.
no,
You know
there's
what?
not
Let's go
enough
with
research.
the split. Let's go with the split.
I say the split because
Okay.
you want to ask
There
for
needs
total
to be
points
room
scored,
for
yeah.
splits over the season.
fine.
That and the last 2 episodes we've done points scored. You guys are done hearing
it's a
about points
tiebreaker.
scored.
All right,
Tiebreaker.
gentlemen.
Anyway, so on
It has been
on
real.
this disagreeing note, we want to go watch a game. It's been real. We love you.
All right. As
Send us
always,
out.
Blazers rule.
Go Blazers.
Go Blazers. Go Blazers.
Comment,
All right.
subscribe, email.
Email us at podcasts@blazertagpodcast.com.
True facts.
Science.
Later.